Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Sister Cerise here. Wow. So, Cardi B, her trial is quite interesting. Like, of course, this happened many years ago, and she's going through court right now. And I think she is doing a marvelous job. So, for those of you who don't know what the trial is about, I'm going to bring you up to speed. All right. So, we're going back 7 years ago. Cardi was the first time pregnant ever. It wasn't really known yet. She was only about 3 months pregnant. So she was going to her gynecologist. She gets off the elevator. When she got off the elevator, her guard was downstairs. Her security guard was downstairs in the building. But when she got off the elevator and she started to walk down the hall, she was hidden with a hood, like a hoodie, and she didn't have her makeup on. She didn't have her hair done. She just didn't want to be bothered. She was pregnant. She was just going to her gynecologist appointment. All of a sudden, the security guard for the building said, "Oh, there's Cardi B. Oh my gosh, Cardi B." And Cardi B just turned around and that was it. But now Cardi B is trying to strut down the hall to look for where the office is for the doctor because she doesn't want to be bothered. She doesn't want to get recognized. And so, she's like, all right, let me just keep moving and grooving. And all of a sudden she turns around and the guard is on her heels. Now, at first, the guard had her phone to her ear. Secondly, when Cardi B turned around again, the guard had the phone at her chest filming Cardi. There's got to be some type of privacy. I understand they're public figures, a lot of the famous people, but when they are going into a private establishment, well, it's a public establishment, but when they're going into a private appointment, have a little bit of consideration, especially if you are a guard in a building. You gotta have some respect. So Cardi, of course, in Cardi fashion, said to the girl, "Why are you recording me?" The girl said, because I can." And Cardi said, "Yeah, but aren't you a security guard?" And the woman said, "Yeah, so what?" And Cardi turned around and said, "Why are you recording me?" And then an argument broke out. Now, the argument didn't last for very long, under a minute, but they did get chest to chest, like a bird fight, so to speak. And what this girl is saying is that Cardi B had on long nails with rhinestones on top, and Cardi B put her finger in the girl's face and scratched the girl's face so deep, 2 centimeters, that 2 inches, I guess, one or the other, you can check, scratched the girl's face so bad that the girl had to go for surgery. And now this woman is suing Cardi B and you won't believe this. I couldn't believe it. $24 million. Take that in for a moment. That's a money grab. I don't think any little scar on her face is going to cost $24 million, but she says that she was traumatized. Why didn't you just step back when Cardi B recognized you? When you recognized Cardi B? Why didn't you just step back, lady? Step back, respect people's boundaries. And when Cardi said, "Hey, why are you recording me?" You know what the woman said? "Oh, my bad." That means the girl was recording her. Well, the woman, not the girl, the woman was recording Cardi B. Listen, I'm all one for, when people are out in public and they're out at a restaurant, and especially if they're very famous and they know they're going to get recognized on the street, I'm all for filming them. Hey, it's a public place. But when you're walking down a hallway and you are a famous person and you're pregnant, it's your first baby, and you clearly are trying to hide yourself, you got a hoodie on, and you really just don't want to be bothered because you don't have your makeup on, your hair is not done, you just want to be left alone. And a woman starts to come up to you videoing, saying because she's allowed to and she's supposed to be working at that moment, that's not cool. The woman also went farther and said to Cardi B, "Get out of my building. You're causing a ruckus." After Cardi B started to argue with the woman's like, "Get out of my building." It's not the woman's building at all. The woman was working there. So in any case, it didn't last for very long. Like I said, the reason why is because the receptionist for the doctor went out into the hallway, and she's like, "What's going on? Why are you guys arguing?" And of course, she knew Cardi B was on her way to go see the doctor that she works for. And she obviously knows the security guard because she probably saw the security guard every single day. And she's like, "What's going on?" So she told Cardi, "Go in the door, go." Cardi went into the door, and that was it. This girl is saying that she was scratched. Now, the doctor went out briefly after, like a few seconds after the assistant, a few seconds after the receptionist, and the doctor said to this woman, like, "Well, what's going on?" Like, so the doctor obviously knew the security guard as well because the doctor goes in every single day, right? It's the doctor's office. And he said he does not remember any type of blood or any type of injury to this woman's face. The woman did go downstairs and speak to Cardi's security. Now, whatever is the issue, it's not worth $24 million, in my opinion. And also, I think there should be some type of boundary. We all have our own space. You know, we should all be able to say to somebody, "Hey, please don't film me right now." That woman should have had respect. That woman should have had some type of logic in her brain that told her, "Hey, look, this is private space right now. This is a private moment right now for Cardi. This is a moment where Cardi is going into a gynecologist." This woman knows that it's a doctor. That is a very private situation. And Cardi was pregnant. Now, of course, granted, everyone didn't know. Cardi didn't tell anyone else, didn't tell anybody yet. It was her first child. She still was not letting people know. But it was none of this security guard's business. And the lawyer in court said, "Why didn't you tell her you were pregnant?" Why would Cardi? Cardi doesn't need to say to the woman, "Hey, look, I'm pregnant. Can you leave me alone?" Not at all. Cardi's just like, "Hey, don't record me. Aren't you a security guard? This is a private doctor's office. Like, what are you doing? This is very disrespectful." And the woman was arguing with Cardi. Now, the woman was bigger than Cardi, security guard, quite heavy. And, so obviously Cardi was like a little afraid as well. But Cardi was actually trying to get away from this woman at first. Cardi got off the elevator and she's walking down the hall, and this woman was on her heels recording her. And that's when Cardi turned around the first time when she said, "Oh, Cardi." And then Cardi was like, "Whatever." And the girl was still walking down the hall with Cardi, and Cardi could hear it. So Cardi turned around again, and Cardi saw the girl filming her. I don't know, guys. I just feel like there should be some type of boundary. I think this woman should be charged. I know there's no charges that could really charge her because it was a public place. It's not like she broke into Cardi's home, but she did, I feel, go over a boundary. I feel that she did go above and beyond. It wasn't her business to pick up her phone and start recording someone. She's supposed to be protecting people in that building. She's not supposed to be picking up her phone and filming people that are walking through those halls. I think that when you are a security guard, it is your business to watch for clear and present danger. Nod your head at Cardi and be like, "Hey, what's up?" Give her some respect. Give her some privacy. She's going into a doctor office. She's going into a gynecologist office. And this security guard knows that office she was going into is a gynecologist. It's not like and even if it was some plastic surgery, it doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter. It is a building where she was hired to protect the people that are getting off the elevator, walking through the hallway, or maybe just looking for directions. That's it. Cardi felt so violated, and I can see why. I am not on Cardi's level at all in regards to fame, And imagine you watching this, maybe you're not either. But how would you feel if you were being videoed? Even you would be like, "Why are you videoing me?" Like, come on. You're supposed to just stand there. You're hired to guard. You're not hired to accost. So in my opinion, I feel that Cardi, you know what, right now she's on stand and she's pregnant again. She just told people that she's pregnant again. And so, congratulations, Cardi, on your new pregnancy. But I will say, this is not a cool thing. In our society, when we have cell phones and we are filming people when we are supposed to be protecting them, it really it really demonstrates a person's mindset. I think it demonstrates the low level thinking of somebody that would whip out their cell phone to film someone just because they're famous and they're on their way to the doctor office. Like, why couldn't she just say to Cardi, hey, I'm a fan of yours, when Cardi went to the doctor and came back out again? Why couldn't she wait for Cardi to go into the doctor and just be like, hey, Cardi, as Cardi is waiting for the elevator? Think logically. You're a fan because this woman is saying she was a fan of Cardi's before that. Okay, you're a fan of Cardi? Fine. You recognize her? Awesome. Let her go into her appointment. When she gets out of the appointment, be at that elevator and say to her, hey, Cardi, it was really nice to see you in person. Really nice to meet you. I'm pretty sure Cardi's not going to strike up a conversation with her because, again, Cardi had her hoodie on and she was quite clearly, quite obviously trying to disguise herself. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure she would have got a hello as opposed to a, hey, why are you recording me? I feel that there should be some type of law out there, some type of, representation for famous people who are affected by this type of violation. There should be some type of violation when somebody gets too close to someone because they're famous and disturbs their peace of mind and disturbs their day. When famous people are out and about, they're not out and about to get shot by a camera or by a cell phone. They're out because they also want to live their lives. They also want to get out there and do what they have to get done. So remember, when you are out and about and you see someone famous, sometimes it's best just to go up to them and nod your head and say hello. Don't disturb them. Just simply give them respect. They are human too. And their job, yes, is to be an entertainer, but not to entertain you on a personal level, to entertain the world. Give them propers. Thank you so much, guys. I'm Sister Cerise. Please go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. Don't forget to also subscribe to my other channels. I have another channel, Fairfax Files, crime channel if you're into true crime. And I'll see you Friday for the weekend wrap up. Have an amazing day, everyone. Huge hugs, loads of love, and big blessings. Be good to yourself out there, please, because you deserve it. And remember, tomorrow's not promised, so make the best of today. Bye.